By 2019, the hospitality industry will have 8.2 million hotel rooms only in Latin America, of which we expect to capture 0.17% at a revenue of about 30 million a year. We differentiate ourselves from the competition because we focus completely on Latin America. There is no other online travel agency that wants to be the premier destination for hotel booking in Latin America. On the other hand, we're working right now with hotel chains because we're still building up our unique database of independent hotels, but we will focus completely on independent hotels and not work with Marriott, Hilton's, or any of that anymore. The way it works is that it is free for travelers to download our app, and it is free for hotels to sign up. If a booking occurs, we take about 13% commission, and we can sell advertising space on our booking confirmations, which go out by email. However, we do not want any advertisement on the app itself while people book the hotel. Sometime down the road, we will be able to sell access to that unique database because no one else is focusing on going out and finding those independent hotels themselves. We asked Yaki, which is one of the biggest travel agencies of China, for an investment. However, we agreed on a more phased approach. So first, we're starting out with revenue sharing. Yaki will advertise our app to their already existing customer base in Asia and mainly in China. So far, they sent their outgoing tourists to the US, to Europe, and to Southeast Asia, but not to Latin America at all. And they want us to be their primary partner to book hotels in Latin America. If that step goes well, then we can move on to the second phase, where we can offer rooms tonight in Southeast Asia for, again, independent hotels. Because so far, they only have online travel agencies that focus on chain hotels. And if that goes well too, then that can lead to a possible exit strategy for us, which might be a merger or acquisition with Yaki itself, or a big investment where we could split off from them. This is what makes us so confident in our numbers. As you can see, we will not have a profit in 2016, but we expect to break even in Q2 of 2017. And the team, Jimmy and I both graduated from the same university in Switzerland. However, he's about 10 years older, so he graduated way before me. I worked in hotels, and I did pricing strategy and inventory allocation for hotels. So basically right now I work, my opposites do the same job that I used to do before. Jimmy, however, worked in hotel acquisition and hotel investment in London for 10 years before he moved to Guatemala, which is actually where his mother is from. So he moved there last year, and he was looking for a project, and we talked a lot about my app that I was working on already. So he joined me, and he has a lot more knowledge of business, and he has a lot more experience. So therefore, he could help me take it to the next level. He's my COO now, and he does everything in Latin America directly with the hotels because they just prefer to speak to someone who is Latin, and just because they understand each other. They work completely different than we do. So Rooms Tonight right now is looking for an investment of 300,000 because we want to launch a big marketing campaign to reach our own customer base. We have Yaki's customer base in China, but we want to have our own customer base in the US, in Europe, and in Latin America for Latins to travel in Latin America. Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions from the panel?
Alex, you did mention your competitor. I'm assuming you're Airbnb, or is that what you're mentioning?
Yeah, let me go back. Yes, here. Our competitors are the traditional online travel agencies like Booking.com and Expedia, but also Hotel Tonight, which does basically the same business model in the US, but instead of working with independent hotels, they work with chain hotels, because in the US, almost 90% of the hotels are chain hotels.
Are you already with Yaki? I mean, you're online. I mean, are they already partnering with you and using your service or your app already?
No, we, right now, actually, our lawyer is talking to their lawyer to figure it out. We have agreed with their management, but we need the lawyer to, make the terms. So we're there now, but we haven't signed anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully soon, though.
How many hotels do you have signed now?
Right now, we have 250 hotels in Costa Rica, Ecuador, Guatemala, and Peru.
How does your 13% commission compare to some of your competitors?
It is the average. When you work with Booking.com, it's about 20%, just because they have such a huge offer. They can fill your hotel every night if they want to. But we work in secondary and tertiary cities, so and independent hotels, so they don't have that much money. They need their money basically to pay their overhead. So we went with a lower commission. But then again, Airbnb has 4%, and they work with private people's homes, so that is a lot lower than us.
They have the 250 you work with shown any increase in bookings after working with your company? Have you any kind of ROI on what they spend with?
No, we only had a soft launch. We want to launch with the big marketing campaign, which is what we're raising money for now, and also we want to launch together with Yaki when they start advertising for us.
So RocketLounge is going on a roadshow the first 2 weeks of May to angels and VCs all over Florida. We gathered about 100 contacts, so Anamona and their team will be one. 5 other of our startups will. One of them looking for $5 million already, so we have different, and we have to convince them to come down here sometime. At the moment, we have to go to them because they, don't think we have nothing here.
Some may come.
We will show them.
Any other question from anybody else to anyone?
Is the
Yeah,
app fully
please.
developed?
Yes.
It's done?
Yep.
You're happy?
Can download it, right?
No,
No,
I want to improve
It's
a
gonna
lot.
constantly be improved.
It,
And
It's-
you're the one that wrote the code. You're the one.
no,
who
I
did
did
it,
not
no?
write the code. We have someone who wrote the code for
Okay.
us.
But it's your
They
idea.
are in San Diego. Yes, it's my idea.
How many nights have you booked through it?
But right now we have about 60 nights, just because we didn't advertise it first of all, but we also worked with travel bloggers and we tried to convince people to test it out, because our first test was with FIU and UM students, but they didn't actually book. They just looked at the feeling of whether they like it, whether it's fun enough for them to even use it. And then we started working with travel bloggers for them to test. So when we do the big launch, hopefully, it will be bigger. We'll have more bookings.
Very good. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Great job.
Thanks
So-
for coming over the wrong
Thank
way.
you,
Thank
thank you, great job. So this is now the time again when you can vote, please. I see that now you know how to do it because I saw your previous voting. So try to do that again for this one as well. And the next pitch is actually a funny story. I just heard these guys yesterday. They came in, oh, I want to check out the place. So what do? So this is what we do. And then it came to my mind that this was really the idea with Dieter we wanted to develop. Because we had such a bad experience with some of these service companies we had to work with to create this here. And yes, my little name tag. And therefore these guys created an app which was exactly what we thought is needed. So I told the guy, look, if you wanna present tomorrow, here is the opportunity. And they said, yeah, why not? We already did it in other forums, so why not here? So please come over here, and Dieter is the company name that we'll be presenting next. Okay?
So we're Tether Technologies. I'm Skylar Merritt. I'm the CEO. This is Rodrigo Leon. He's the CDO. Max Seeger, he's our CTO, and Alberto Cortez, he's our CMO.
Full team, that's
The
the
full
first.
team, very nice.
Full team, you can get them NBCs.
Yep.
Cool logo.
Cool. So companies have created a false sense of empowerment by encouraging consumers that more results are better. However, with excess follows distortion, chaos, and uncertainty. Technology users will spend 7 billion hours this month searching for everyday solutions on the internet. At Tether, we are looking to change that. Technology is an art, and the task of art is to bring chaos to order.
Okay.
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 It's all right.
Don't worry about
It's all right. Let's show the demo. No, let's show the demo. Let's show.
All right. Technology is art, and the task of art is to bring.
Let's just skip it. Let's go through the
We put it
demo.
together in 24 hours. We'll show you Tether.
Just tell your story, you don't have to, it shouldn't be so scripted, just tell your story.
That's right.
We developed Tether. Before this, I actually was I was in commercial building and development, so I started a commercial building company with my father. One night after trying to search for services after hours, I was amazed that it took an extreme amount of time to find solutions or companies that were available. You have the norm of like an 8 to 5, and so for us, we were just interested in almost applying a Uber style model into a search engine style field. And we created Tether, which is solutions in seconds.
This is our quick demo of what Tether is. We just typed up plumbing problem, leaky pipe. You can category, subcategory, type your problem out, upload a photo, upload a video, and businesses sign up under the plumbing category will pop up in your map. You can select by rating, by price, by distance, and after that you're immediately in chat with the business that can help you solve your problem.
Right. So why Tether? Well, it's solutions instantly. So what we do is, as a user, you have a powerful broadcast. It's text attached with photo, video, real-time audio, whatever. You send that off, you broadcast it to businesses. Businesses will want to be contacted instantly. They're notified via push notification, similar to a text. So you open it, the business can then see your request in text, real-time video, photo, audio. They can accept or deny the request, and upon accepting the request, you're alerted on your map that they're available, and you can scroll through and select a company that you choose, and you can instantly chat with them, exchange voice again through our chat system, and do live video. Why would companies use Tether? Well, as a business, it incrementally slashes customer acquisition costs. So instead of having to put a lot of effort into huge marketing campaigns or trying to get in front of customers, we allow you to use your availability to your advantage. Whenever you want, you just toggle on and off, and you're able to receive solutions. How are the solutions dispersed to you? Well, we use textual analysis and character recognition, character analysis to redirect requests, as well as now in our prototype where we started just with a category and subcategory. When businesses sign up, they choose what they want to be alerted by or what they want to be categorized as, and all the requests, when they're available, are sent and directed to them. What else do we have? Growth. So how do we grow? Obviously utilizing like search engine optimization and social media marketing. That's a big thing. We actually presented for Sumo Ventures and ran a small marketing campaign where we spent $15 a day, where we reached like 30,000 people, and we actually gained an incredible amount of feedback. We had companies sign up that we weren't even ready for, like wineries, distilleries, even dispensaries. So we want to introduce like a brand ambassador program, almost in the Uber style fashion, where we target individuals in metropolitan areas who are familiar with the area and able to establish those solid relationships with businesses, and then also help us gain traction with the user base being familiar with that area. Monetization. So we have 3 forms. The first one is a pay-per-tether. So similar to Google, we're going to adopt a pay-per-click. We don't want subscription fees. We want you to pay for what you actually use. So every time you get in front of a customer, or every time you tether with a consumer, you pay for a nominal fee for that. And what it does is, it definitely increases the likelihood that you're more willing and more wanting to use the service over and over because it's so cheap. Again, 99 cents, $1.99, we're still playing with figures and trying to figure out our overhead costs. But it would definitely beat anything that's currently out there. as a user of Home Advisor, when we were doing building and development, you're paying anywhere between $10 and $50 per lead per customer, and it doesn't even guarantee that you're gonna get a response back. Our second is merchant service, so we're currently working with Stripe, and we're actually trying to figure out a path to be able to utilize their API and create it, almost launch a tether pay. As soon as we get to a certain milestone that we've kind of decided on now, we will roll out and hopefully adopt our own in-house when we have the funds to be able to pay for security. And then this is a timeline of our idea. So in the inception, or the idea was September of 15. We submitted to YC. We're in talks with them, but unfortunately we were able to not close the deal. We met with Sumo Ventures. We actually were company number 11 out of 1,489. So we only take the top 10.
Very nice.
Yeah. And then now we're still on plan. We've got a fully developed hybrid mobile app, web-based app. That's Mac developed that. We're actually in the midst of rolling out our iOS native developed, and we are going to start our rewrite for our Android native app in the next 2 weeks or so. And then a public launch in September. So thank you.
Where are you based?
Fort Myers. Yeah.
Very
We're
good.
from here.
Excellent. Nice job. Very good job. Okay, question from the panel?
Absolutely.
How you funded now?
I've been funding the app, so when I start, I came up with this idea a little bit ago, and obviously didn't have any money just out of college. I'm still in college actually, pursuing my degree in
So bootstrapping.
Right. So
Yeah.
I started a company, focused building and development.
You're
and,
an FGCU student?
Yep, I'm an FGCU.
FGCU.
So I went.
Only
and,
the best.
Right.
Something good.
Yeah. So I worked for a year and a half and was able to raise enough money for us to fund ourselves and pay for everything that we needed, and we're still currently
What do you
self-funded.
think how much you're looking for the next
Uh,
kickstart?
We're kind of, we threw it in the air. So we initially went out and started talking to different VCs and angel funds and tried to raise a couple $100,000, and I just didn't want to give up that much pie. So I figured that I would self-fund it, and we would launch. The traction that we gathered and the outreach that we received from various businesses and users was incredible, and we were stunned. So we just decided that we would go longer, and even after talking with Peter, the best advice he gave me was fund it as long as you can, because you can keep as much as you like until you actually need to give it up. So 10% now, maybe only 2% later. So
Any questions, please?
Yeah, you initially had it set up, you were talking more like about the contracting, you should use a plumber as an example, but when your video was scrolling by, I saw a lot of different other things.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seemed like, are you gonna,
Okay.
I would think you're gonna focus it, is the focus
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
contracting
yeah.
in the beginning?
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna adopt similar model with almost like Tesla did, right? So we started with a niche, affluent, wealthy market. And that's what we really plan to do. So we plan to really enter the doorway with the service industries. So contract with home service, auto service, real estate is a big one. Companies, smaller companies that are willing to risk more and are wanting to acquire more customers. There's always hungry businesses, small businesses that don't have the same marketing budgets that everybody else does and established companies do. So yeah, we plan to really set foot in the service industry. But as you can see, I don't know, it was a fast demo we put together in less than 24 hours. But we do plan to target the retail, food, everything else. We started actually with this category and subcategory style scroll, but after the small Facebook campaign we did when we had wineries and dispensaries and all these companies reach out to us, we actually switched and reverted. This is like a probably 2.5 month old build, so if we had a current build, my actual developer's out of town, but I don't keep the bill on my phone, but it's actually modeled now in almost a context style, so it's laid out a little bit different, and hopefully if we get another time to show you, you'd be pretty blown away by how we've changed everything and been able to adapt to the want and
What are the preliminary financials that give you a sense that you can do this for $1 or $2 a pop?
Well, so average cost to send a text message is about 2 cents. So if we can, figure out how to utilize that, because we provide the residual transaction, which actually demonstrates the value for a company, right? So if you only pay $1 to sit in front of me, but then you get to talk to me for the duration or for the tenure you're in business, that proves to be pivotal. We have to figure out, and again, that's going to take some time and some money really try to discover what our overhead costs or what our costs are going to be. But right now we're looking at about 2 cents a message is what it costs to transmit, and then server space and data. I'm not sure, David, do you want to provide any input?
In terms of push notifications, we're using a third party, but some of the other developers are working on just push notifications without using push bots.
Right.
And so, yeah, so it should be.
I have a follow-up on that.
Yes.
So right now, so you're basically basing your cost structure on what it's gonna cost you to run your operation, right?
Right.
So operational costs.
Right.
But did you have any testing and done in, you know, how much it's gonna cost you to acquire a customer? So customer acquisition cost, which
Yes.
I'm assuming is,
Absolutely.
you know, your fancy, you know, yellow pages of today,
Right.
basically,
Right.
right?
So what we did actually, and we ran a small marketing campaign off of Facebook, like I was saying, and Rod and I beforehand, we were just putting ads together, and we actually found that it cost us 27 cents per click off the ads we were running.
With what kind of conversion rate?
We had 6.5%. So we had 30,000 reach. I don't know, approximately 1,800 clicks, views. We had, and the same amount of companies sign up. We actually had companies contacting us, like, hey, where's your app on the store? And I'm like, no, we had to shut the campaign down because we didn't want to piss off too many people.
But with the 6.5%, let's round that up to 10%, you're already at $2.70
Right.
to acquire a customer.
Right.
So you might have to check out the pricing.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
It's nothing finalized.
Yeah. No. It's gonna take work. I mean, kind of the cool thing with the tech company now, right, is we're more about users than we are actual costs, and we can keep raising money. Similar to Uber does. I mean, they're still in the red. So, as long as we can develop that solid proof of concept and continue to deliver superior service, I think, the money's there. A bad problem to have is, we're running in the negative because we're running, too many connections or whatever. The price model is easier to adjust with a company like this that has a proven value and continues to give that residual value.
There was one more question from here, right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just had a couple of questions. I really like the idea. It's kind of like directories, like around people with like a chat feature built into it.
Right.
I just had 2 questions.
Okay.
Would you run into issues with your directories and with customers like paying twice? Because with directories, what would be like the business retention rate or the business acceptance rate of using Tether if they would know that their customers, just to chat with them, would have to charge money? For example, if you had a contracting business and you were looking for an appraisal, why would I charge $5 or $2 just to chat with somebody when I could call them for free?
Well, because the ease of access or the instant availability, we put you in front of that customer. So the customer broadcasts the signal, and then you get to accept or deny, right? If we're charging nominal, like I said, the substitute or the competition is something like Home Advisor, right? Where you go and you get alerted and you pay anywhere between $8 and $50 for a remodeling. So for us, I mean, it's giving you that instant connection and then allowing you to continue to communicate with them. We're looking at even Google, so people can, consumers can find businesses on Google, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to call them. And this is, a pay per click, put our money where our mouth is, right? So you only pay for the people that you talk to and the people that you're in front of. And I really, have yet to discover another substitute or another competitor that actually, provides that lead for that cheap and that quick.
So if you're not
I'm sorry. We have to stop here
Okay.
because we are taking too much time. But, thank you very much. Okay, so please cast your votes. Okay, for this presentation and business concept as well. And then the next presentation will be that type of company which we would like to bring in many of them, which is an international company. This company is already well established in Europe, having about 40-some developers and having about 50,000 concurrent users in Europe. And this company came over to establish a beachhead and hopefully expand into the US market. And here it is, RP. Many of you already know him. So he will present the next presentation. I will bring it up. Just a sec.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Peter. That's some people left.
to sign, but no, I'm always trying to keep it shorter. This is my second pitch. 2 weeks ago I tried once in my life, so right now I try to finish like this. I mean, I will give a financial overview also. So, but before I started, let me start with some exercise. How many of you, just raise your hand, spend more than 2 hours over the phone from the regular business hours?
2 hours a day?
2 hours a day. Okay. How many of you spend this one more minute, let's say 1.5, 2 hours per reading your emails, answering your emails per day? Okay. I bet the same number comes with talking about meetings, online or in-person meetings. So this is all about collaboration, and I think I have to start using the Apple product.
That's a good one.
Even our office, everybody's using except me. So this is how it looks like now, this collaboration. And the latest Harvard and other Harvard Business Review and other studies show us that in the past 20 years, double or triple the time what the company's employees and of course executives spend with the collaboration. So our goal is to build a collaborative platform, basically a product family on the latest Microsoft Office 365 and SharePoint Online product family to reduce this number, what you spend on time in the collaboration, spending also wasting your time on searching documents, searching information, or spending an hours on mobile phones and phone calls. How many of you using Office 365? It's around 40–50%. So this is our marketplace. So 3 years ago it was nearly zero who was using Office 365. So we started to building a digital ecosystem, and this is the piece of this ecosystem. We have our own CRM solution. It's funny when I'm talking with people and CRM, they don't know it, but is it Salesforce? So they know the 3 million users Salesforce. We have our own solution. We have a project management solution, we have an HR management solution, we have a management information system solution, and in the middle it's a digital workplace, formerly usually called the intranets for the larger accounts, larger companies. This is our concept, which is much more than a concept right now. Peter named the number, 50,000 daily users. They are not using these tools, they are using our custom built developments. We have 12 years old, we have more than 40 employees, only 30 is developers from them, but that's our capability over there. I'm born and raised in Budapest, Hungary, and we are living here for 5 years now. So this is the ecosystem where we started to build 2 years ago. We have more and more customers here in the US, and you see some of them. If you want to test our system, just our strategy partner RocketLounge, you can see how is it working.
We are using the CRM.
We are using our CRM system, and some other folks in the room is also using our solutions already. And this is our client base over there. So what we would like to do is to transform this knowledge, what we learned in the past 12 years. I started to work as a consultant 20 years ago. What we learned from this enterprise level clients to the small, medium-sized growing business area. Everybody needs a better collaborative solutions. This species, what I showed you in the other slides, I think can help to move in this area. What we're looking for right now is we're looking for around $500,000 investment. Half of them goes to boost up our development capability and capacity over there. And here also, we are still waiting for the right candidates from FGCU. In the past few days, I got some interesting CVs. And of course, we have to invest a lot in the social media to go after the bigger numbers of users. But the goal is to catch the big players, like you see some of them, if you're familiar with this. These guys like the Deutsche Telekom, Vodafone, or here CenturyLink, or all the big telco vendors selling Office 365. This is the ultimate strategy of the telco companies, is selling data. The only way how they can sell more data right now is selling Office 365. But they are selling just the infrastructure. Our goal is to be the business solution provider of these guys. So we want to build a partner network. This is where we are going now. I think that's our story. If you have any question, feel free to.
Take this, thank you.
How do your solutions cost compared to trying to buy some of the bigger guy solutions? Obviously, it's a hosted solution,
Oh, yes, sure.
and so you kind of a pay per user type model.
Yeah, we have, which is one of them is pay per user or a group. Our entry level package for the CRM, for example, is $99 per month. So actually, we have a CRM lottery right now, and this year, every month, we give it for 1 year subscription for free. So if you go to the crmlottery.com, this goes to our website, and then you can put your names in, and then you can get the solution. So we try to keep it very low level. And our goal is build a product family for the 10 to 20 users, or even less, for project management CRM, and then a product line for the 200 to 500, and of course for the enterprise. We have products in the Microsoft App Store, SharePoint App Store now. We have about 8,000 visitors, a couple of hundred downloads, few buyers. This is a relatively new Microsoft App Store.
Any other question from the panel? Any other question from anybody else? All right, thank you very much then. So this is the time, please, when you should vote on this company and on this business concept. As you can see, why you are voting is that we are going from the very early stage into a more and more developed company. And then the last company we will be presenting is basically was founded by serial entrepreneur Paul here, and basically doing this as one of the many projects he already did. And here is Paul.
Great, thanks, Peter. Hey, how's it going? So my name is Paul Sherrari. I'm founder and CEO of Ecomedes. I've been a sustainability consultant in and around the marketplace for 20 years, and almost every time I went to work in the last 20 years, I've had to leave Southwest Florida to go to work. So my companies have been based out of here. I've sold 2 technology companies, had to sell them to a company in Atlanta, and then got on an airplane every Monday through Friday and worked in Atlanta as the chief product officer for that company. Did the wrong thing, sold to the wrong people for the wrong reasons at the bottom of the decline of the last construction debacle, and realized very quickly that you can get reverse mergered out of your own company and then lose about $5 million in cash. So in 2014, decided to bootstrap myself with no actual available funds. So this is a classic, get 7 credit cards when you still have good credit, max them out, and then go get some customers and hopefully self-fund it from there. So this is the story of Ecomedes. It's a riff on Archimedes, the famous guy that figured out leverage. So what our software does is it simplifies and streamlines the economic, environmental, and social ROI analysis of high-performance projects. We're lucky to have one of the greenest universities in the United States with solar panels powering and a lot of really good business decisions. And I actually got to sit next to Dr. Bradshaw a couple times, flying them back and forth to Atlanta. And the whole idea is to help people better make a decision, because the buildings in the world are mostly not very green. They're not high performance in any way, shape, or form. And luckily we've got entrepreneurs like Elon Musk making green cool. He doesn't talk about the awesome electric car. He talks about the safest car, the fastest car, the car with an insane button, gull wing doors, and all that other kind of stuff. So we want to make that decision making easier. The reason why it's important to me is that, I want to leave Florida the way I grew up in Florida. I grew up in Indian Rocks Beach, Florida. I haven't been able to take my 2 daughters anywhere in Florida and have it look the same, have it be as pristine, have it, any of the springs, the keys, all that stuff. We have a huge opportunity to make the billions of square feet of commercial real estate in the United States and the millions of homes a little greener, because we all that live, work, play, learn in these buildings have lots of components, and we have to make better choices when we pick those components. We have lots more people interested about project performance. We care about data. We talk about the cloud. We talk about big data. Sustainability metrics like LEED and other rating systems. We have the first neighborhood in the world that's going to be on all solar in Babcock Ranch. I got to fly all the way to Dubai to try to help them figure out better windows on the Palm Jumeirah, because they bought really bad windows. When you buy bad windows for a place that's as large as Cape Coral, all built in the middle of the wrong place in the world, you realize really quickly that you have to build 2 extra power plants just because you got bad windows that then created air conditioning systems that were 50 tons of cooling for a 5,000 square foot house. So I got to go help try to fix that problem. It didn't really work, but I got the largest window order of a US-based company's history. So I had a very expensive bottle of wine for dinner at the Palm Jumeirah. $250 billion of these products are going to be pushed on us, and a lot of people are actually very receptive to buying them as long as you give them the information. So what our software does is it connects the seller and the buyer. And I had my own epiphany when I tried to green a house in Cape Coral, and not a single manufacturer could actually convince me of buying their high-performance, more expensive products. There were no Elon Musks of the window world. They want you to spend a lot of money, but they don't actually tell you why. So an example is, when you buy a car, the largest piece of information on any window sticker, whether you're buying a $150,000 Porsche or a Leaf, is the miles per gallon. It's the biggest text. But it's actually a composite number of all these other little bitty things. And a car is a single thing, and it really doesn't matter if you drive a Hummer or you drive a Tesla. Because you only drive your car 90 minutes or less a day. But your house runs 1,440 minutes out of every day. And it runs for as long as you own it. So imagine if your car never turned off, the miles per gallon would be much more important. So when you do this as an architect, an engineer, a consultant, you begin this process of wondering what window to buy, or what dishwasher to buy with a scavenger hunt and a maze. You then go on to the connect the data if you've even found the data. Then you've got to go on your adding machine and build your own spreadsheets to figure out which dishwasher you want. You've got to piece together results, because a building like this, that Dominic or Kevin or I don't know which one of them owns this building, but they have about 150 product decisions to make every time something breaks in one of their buildings. Well, imagine if you're Hertz and you just made 1,000 building product decisions. You would pay people to go through this nightmare, which is my daily grind as a lead consultant, as a sustainability consultant. So what we built is a system better because we wanted to make better decisions ourselves, and now we kind of codified all this data. So energy data goes down to watts, water data goes down to gallons, life cycle data goes down to how many dollars it takes to maintain building light fixtures. Resiliency, we live in a hurricane zone, let's build houses, let's not be surprised by Hurricane Sandy. The building lobby just made it so you could build with wood up from the Florida Panhandle all the way up to the eastern seaboard. We could have always built better. Certainly a lot of the houses on Sanibel and Captiva should have been built better. They're just a speed bump for Cape Coral as the hurricane comes in. So product performance data, I lived on a barrier island growing up in Indian Rocks Beach. The whole island's only about 500 yards wide, so when Hurricane Elena just parked itself in '85, it destroyed my parents' house. For 2 weeks we were just taking drywall down to the studs and rebuilding it. Then the no-name flooded the whole house again, so finally we put a second story on the house. But people that want to spend money need to know why they're spending the money. Elon's done a great job getting people to buy an electric car, but when you go to Publix, it's hard to figure out what eggs to buy. Are they cage-free? Are they biodynamic? Are they organic? It's like 75 choices and all you want's an omelet. So we're going to help you make a better omelet. So we take only the data that matters, we map it automatically to all the rating systems and things you care about. We'll automate all the calculations I used to charge hundreds of dollars an hour for as a consultant. We're going to create a report that a third grader can understand. We're going to analyze all the utilization of our platform for the brands that create great products. And we're going to make it easier to shop for better products. We're buying these products every day. 100,000 people in Home Depot and Lowe's today bought light bulbs and plumbing fixtures. You know what? Nobody had the answer for the ROI. Nobody in the store could help you, and if you called the 1-800 number at almost every one of those brands, it would take you 6 weeks to get an answer back. So Toto, the largest plumbing manufacturer in the world, uses our app. You can go on there, pick one of their awesome $9,000 toilets if you want, figure out all the environmental data that they have on the product category, and then get an ROI analysis in less than 3 seconds. And you can do that over and over again. So what our system does is it allows manufacturers who want to sell you something greener to actually figure out how to do that much quicker and actually get you the answer you need. We're software as a service, we're easily scalable. We charge between $5,000 and $480,000 a year for our software. Most of our manufacturers fall within this category. We're lucky, our first couple of companies, we're very big, large companies, they believe in us. But we have a system that can do up to $5,000 and load up 50 SKUs into the system. We have strategic partnerships. We just launched a partnership with the GSA, the largest landowner in the world. We're going to help them with their 370 million square feet because the federal government buys between $25 and $32 billion worth of stuff for the buildings that they run. So we've had a good track record. We've been blessed. We've been doing this for a long time. Toto and Asab were our first 2 customers. We got some pretty good revenue out of them. We launched another 77 customers on the brand. Contractually, they're going to be launching soon. And then this year, we secured a contract with the GSA. Like I said, they buy a lot of stuff every January and July. They have to report to the president what they've bought, where they bought it, what kind of kilowatts they've saved and gallons they've saved. We also have UL, the largest certification body in the world, using our software. And they're going to actually create a sales partnership so I don't have to go raise a whole bunch of money. They'll give us 50 sales reps and talk to the 10,000 manufacturers that they already have in the space. We've been growing good. We've done this before. Like I said, I sold it to the wrong group of people. I'm not going to do that again. But our revenue is strong. We're going to be able to grow. It's not insane growth. I don't need a logarithmic curve. I need about 10% of the marketplace. We're the ones that created this entire marketplace in 2007. My non-compete ended, so now I'm going to go do it again. Our operational expenses are pretty stable. It's probably pretty heavy, but we're trying to account for the fact that we're going to have to hire people down here. I'm not going to be able to maybe get them as cheaply as possible. I'm going to have to get people relocated or even as strong. And we're raising $250K right now. I agree with the previous gentleman. You don't want to give up too much of your equity early on. We have some really good contracts. We're going to have a huge sales force from UL, but we're raising a $250,000 round. I never thought it would be so hard to raise so little money, but it is down here. We're doing a convertible note. We'll convert the money at 20 to 30% discount. At the next round, we're going to raise $1 million later on this year. And then we're going to spend it on team, technology, business development, and marketing. And finally, our exit's going to be pretty straightforward. When I left my company, within a day, I already had acquisition offers just for the idea because they knew what I wanted to do. I couldn't sell it. I had to sit on it for a year, and then I realized it's a lot more valuable than just selling them an idea. So we're going to go build it and grow it. But we built plugins for Google. We built plugins for Autodesk, some of the biggest names in the industry. Google sold SketchUp to Trimble, so we're talking to them right now. And then all the different certification bodies out there want to get a piece of this pie because they work with all the manufacturers that have green data. And Google's actually invested in 2 platforms through Google X, Quartz, and Flux. And they spent $5 million trying to build a product database for their own project and haven't actually been able to launch it in 3 years. So we're going to try to work with them. Toto actually supplies all the potties to Google. So we're trying to get in there with that. They're building a huge campus. The Apple project used our tool with Toto to try to figure out which toilet they're going to order from that project. So we actually figured out how much water will be saved by the spaceship once it lands in Cupertino. So, I'll take any questions. Thanks.
Okay, any questions from the panel?
Great job. I've had the benefit of seeing their first presentation to the Rocket and this is 1,000 times better. You've gotten to the points quickly, you've done everything you needed to do. It's a huge improvement.
Thank you.
Congratulations on that, right from the beginning.
Peter's been helping.
Well, whoever was helping you did a great job. I went so far as to investigate the Toto website.
Yeah.
And my wife did, after talking about your app. I'm sure she didn't sign the non-disclosure. Don't worry, we're not going to sell toilet technology tomorrow. But they have a great website, a phenomenal website. It's one of the easiest websites there is to use. And with your tool on it, it shows that you picked a good partner.
Yeah.
I think you've done some good things. What I am concerned about, as you guys all know, I'm a Tesla guy. I own one of their biggest suppliers. Elon does not sell that car as a green car, as you said, because it alienates people.
Yep.
Okay, a lot of people won't buy the car if it's known as a green car and it's a tree hugger car. Sure. Okay, less than 4% of the people that buy a Tesla buy it because it's a green car. They buy it because it's a fast car or a cool car.
Mm-hmm.
You had that
That's
slide.
why he has one.
Well, but you had the tab that you had there. You're making the app to make people money.
Yeah.
To show them that the building is more sustainable is great. And it's going to help them, every flush costs you less money to heat.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And I think that you're focusing that way more now, and I think you're going to have a lot more success.
Yeah, and that's why the number one lingua franca business is dollars.
I see.
We still have water
I see
and maintenance.
It's key,
but
I
it
agree.
helps.
I'm very environmentally friendly, but
Yeah.
people that own buildings that have 1,000 units, like you said,
Yeah.
the sheiks,
Yeah.
they care about the windows saving the money.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
The better windows on those 3 Palm Islands would save $7 billion of their cap.
Anyway, I'll let you keep going,
Yeah.
but phenomenal improvement.
Thank you.
Any other question? Any other questions?
Who's your closest competitor?
Myself from 2007. The technology that got bought, they haven't made it any better. They're still generating amazing amounts of money, just not changing it. But now clients have realized it's not mobile, it's not responsive. Designers and decision makers need to do it anywhere. So our app was designed on a responsive platform from scratch, and to not deal with any IP related issues, we literally just had a new wall board, started new, contacted 150 of my past clients and said, what is your toughest thing about positioning green products? And Kevin's absolutely right. They don't want to position green products. They want to position high performance products.
Exactly.
And that is what the key is. And that's why high performance products You can't save money with a green thing unless you did save energy and water and those, but you can't do it without a decision maker that signs the front of the check, which is a Kevin, a Dominic, an FGCU. You have decision makers, they expend money, they want some return. They don't care how it's generated, but it better come back to them as money if the initial investment's money.
Well, the lights, I mean, like you had the thing on lights, I mean, I couldn't afford compact fluorescents in all my buildings for what the little amount of energy it saved, but with LEDs, you can see a payback.
And it's
So
a
I will not buy
payback.
a light bulb now, it's not, so now I am very eco-smart.
And it's maintenance, you know, the LED driver is not really the water savings, it's the maintenance. If you have a union electrician in California holding the ladder at Facebook to change out a light, it's gonna cost you 3 times for the ladder holder than anything that the light bulb will do.
Paul, share the story about the super and the maintenance of the super.
Yeah, so Toto actually used our app 2 weeks ago to go out and just take out all the Sloan fixtures after a 3-year renovation cycle, because the maintenance in these little flush valves actually has a small hydroelectric wheel. It charges a capacitor instead of batteries. The battery disposal fees for the Sloan fixtures exceeded the expense to buy $600,000 worth of flush valves, just because the expenditure of throwing away batteries in a low-lying area, you have to take it to a special EPA landfill. So as we develop Southwest Florida, we have doubling of our population possible, but we have to do a better job because the tallest landmass in Lee County and all the surrounding counties is a dump. I don't want Florida to have gigantic big ski mounds that are the dump. I'm gonna drive to Orlando with my kids for a volleyball tournament. We're gonna drive by the gigantic dump off Tucker's Grave. Not only does it smell, but it's the tallest landmass in Lee County.
And we don't have snow.
And we don't have snow, so we can't put a ski hill on. Quasi snowboarding. But thank you guys. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you much. So please, this is the last presentation. Vote cast your votes again, so that we have on this one also a calculated kind of average of who liked what. And I also wanted to thank the panel that you gave all the feedback to all these great companies and great hopefuls. And as you see, everybody else is that there is an increase from the very beginning to Paul, who is already did this many, many times. And hopefully those guys will be where Paul is right now. Okay?
Still, it's getting better and better, even if you've done it.
So never stop learning.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's that?
All right.
Senator.
Thank you much. So this was our little demonstration of how it's gonna go. Every pitch event, every 2 weeks, right here in the RocketLounge. Okay?
And thanks all for coming, and if you want to party a little bit further on, we have Andy at the United Coffee, Kevin's building is waiting, so if you want to go there, grab a little networking, Guinness, fresh, you're welcome. And you're welcome to stay here, we have a free beer here.
Exactly.
Until it's gone, you know, or you want to go to the sport bar or whatever, make a little bit of revenue for Kevin, so that he can pay
No
the rent.
revenue there, I'm just a landlord.
Thanks,
All right. Thank you, guys.
I just keep moving.
Hey, great job, guys. Thank you, Peter. Very good. We'll work on refining this. Yeah, we'll have maybe 168 hours until you do this hundreds and hundreds of times. Yeah, it's Paul said. Look, Paul did this many times. This is his fourth business. He sold all of them, and he's still improving. Right. He did a lot of pitches all over. Right. Awesome. Well, thank you again. Actually, you got some good feedback. I'll share it with you and we kind of consider. Okay, that's fine. And then we'll send it out. Absolutely. Sounds good. All right. We'll see you soon. Excellent. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank
Which way? Let me get a picture of you. It's quite a nice thing.
Hey, you gotta have secure Wi-Fi, you gotta
It's making that decision is kind of everything.
I'm running I leave tomorrow, man. I leave tomorrow cash out. Listen, I didn't know you can keep, if you go part-time with the county, you keep your insurance. Yeah.
I just learned that.
Rachel Roshan just told me, he just went part-time, he's like, hey man, he's like, hey, yeah, exactly. He says he's making 30 grand a year, working part-time, and he keeps his insurance.
I bet you can still pick up overtime. Well, I think maybe they start pushing back on that from the administration here. They're not saying that 20% benefits. But it's a great deal.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I ain't bringing it up.
Yeah, nah.
But, well, and that is a great option. Certainly. But if I can get the IT right now, that's the biggest thing. Protect it right now. Everybody that I'm talking to, I'm signing NDAs. The guy that I'm talking to on Monday, who has a couple of key pieces that I need just to get through on EP. I've already signed the first letter. And then the other company I was talking to that wasn't signing on just like just little bits of information more just on the spectroscopy and chemistry. The only, I guess, their rule of thumb is just companies that are in business. They're already developing things, so it doesn't look like we need that kind of reach in customers. I think this other one is so smaller that we're showing for people. I was going to be nervous if they didn't sign it.
Exactly.
I would be nervous. Well, but she did all I asked her, like, well, I'm not going to buy anything right now, but I have a mentor on the chemistry side who was 3 months, but there's some stuff I don't have. And she's like, absolutely, she's been very responsive. She's a PhD in chemistry, so she'll require me to do so like I've learned that right now the spectroscoper has like reflective sampling models. They sell a transmissive one, but it doubles the signal to noise ratio. So you take something that gives me a 6,000 to 1 watt here, which is basically the clarity of the signal to a 30,000 to 1. So more than that. By going transmissive. That module on top of the spectroscoper for $300. They sell it. So she was helping me, but they also have a solution. I could pretty well. So other than time file, that's like a 3D printer. I'm gonna have to replace a hot end, and that bitch has been going non-stop. But I'm sitting there watching this thing play out. She launched this scenario and put his pad out 10 minutes ago. I'm like, I didn't even have to pull this all together. Without that.
It's going to be making like these a lot more.
Well, with a space like this, when you're doing the development, you bring in 3D printers.
And eventually, I think they are going to end up having. They want to push out bigger space. They want to do I think Dr. Lord is what the landowner wants. He's a younger guy who made his 30s. And he doesn't look like him. Or he could be early 40s, but he owns a and
But younger than us right here.
yeah, we know the younger guy with actually
Top hat, were you here when we were in the middle over there? Tom was sitting in the back with a gray hat and t-shirt. He looked like he
he didn't look like he owned the building.
Yeah.
But I guess the lawyers fought and picked it up. The lawyers used to be here too. They left. And then here, RocketLounge.
So essentially, this is what it does. The output service. The two lines that are fairly close are an average of the spectroscopy of saline. Just straight up saline. The one on top is the spectroscopy
Yeah.
It's not big. I grabbed up little pills and added some water to it. That's my statement if everybody asks.
I'm sticking
And
to
add a
it.
little bit of hydrogen fluoride. I remember chemistry.
Yeah, that's I'm sticking
But
to it.
that's what it is.
That's it.
That's all it has to do.
Nutshell, yeah, that's it, man.
And then you
It's easy to sell. It's easy, like I said, this is the most important part. You can explain that you explain to a third grade.
And
Exactly.
what they mentioned, what they re-emphasized, and Jason, so we've been working on this for the last clearly he can't participate. He just bounce things off, but he's been pushing for the IP stuff for a while. And I've kind of put it by the wayside. And now, after talking to these guys, and how these big companies will actually come to these places and listen and get their ideas and bring back to the development team and start blitzing the market, that you need to protect your idea.
Absolutely.
Even Eco meetings, they changed their presentation a lot.
Oh, he didn't.
It was 10 times better.
This is the second time I've seen it.
Oh, from the tech
First kind of
meetup.
that tech meetup. Sloan, the skinny guy with the six back there.
Yeah.
He's the one that does the meetup. He's a pretty cool guy to talk to. He put it together in like last minute. Got in touch with these guys and they're like, yeah, I mean, there was like 30 people. And then he showed up. He saw it on Facebook. He just offered hardware at his house. The most interesting part of this book is they're international.
Yeah.
Talking to him, he can pull up, spool up like 10 developers in another country for pennies on the dollar.
Yes. 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 It's not even worth their time.
He said they charged them $10 an hour.
It's not even worth their time.
Spending like $10 an hour.
Isn't that crazy?
That was the most like delightful thing. Like, fuck, I can focus on the company and I don't have to do any technical stuff. So
You gotta hire them, just contract.
I guess they're going to do at some point a pitch event like this to win a membership. So I don't know what level of that is. Is that a residency membership or just a virtual membership? I'm still not clear on the price structure. I thought it was $100 a year for virtual.
I thought it was too.
But
I
I was
read
talking to
online.
Peter. He said that was for student rates. So maybe he's just
$199 for regular.
So I may need to put my credit card down now before that changes.
That's what Derek was telling me. Derek was telling me, he said, it's like anything else with supply and demand. He said, if you like it now, you better hit this now, get in now. Because when everyone else starts flooding, you're going to force prices.
Well, I'm going to talk to Peter about the first one. It's $100 a year I'm doing right now. I'll do that card, I'll just pop in every once in a while, put my computer in.
Exactly.
I'll sit down.
Especially the amount of people that's here now after
They go out.
today. It's only been here really a week.
Oh, and then Peter was talking to Peter, one of the minimum of 3 co-founders.
The guy got up and tell him, like, I got CEO, I got this guy, I got this guy.
There were, I think it's about 4, but 3 co-founders with differentiating
Skill set.
And Peter has a insulin business.
He's a CEO of a pre-insulin screening. They developed something recently for care testing that will create it's already got FDA approval and they're
He has healthcare contacts.
they're creating that healthcare measure. There's no clear test.
That's your niche right there, man. After you fold this company, you can something that pops up.
I heard him screaming when he heard that last time inside. He was screaming.
Oh yeah. When I didn't overdose on the elevator on the way down.
Yeah, exactly. I had to come here, man. I had so much stuff to do outside. I gotta make it now. And out tomorrow. I can't wait.